It's almost time for another exciting NFL clash, and EA Sports is proud to bring it to you. Welcome to Minneapolis. Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth getting ready for the start of the game. We're looking forward to this Week 14 matchup between the Vikings and the Bengals.
And we're set to go. We'd like to let you know that this game is brought to you by Snickers.
Longwell lines up to kick this one away. Gets a good kick here. From the 3. Chris, I have to say I'm excited about this one.
Now, everything starts up front. Talking about the offensive linemen, about the defensive linemen, they have to play well in this one. Both coaches have to challenge these big guys offensively and defensively.
And he caught it. 9-yard pickup.
You know, that's the kind of pass pattern I used to always love to run, because if the defense is even a little bit lax in their coverage, it's pretty easy to get that one in there.
Greenway tackles him. He got free and was able to pick up decent yardage on the play.
The defense is so focused on trying to make offenses one-dimensional and take away the run. Anytime you see a gain of 6 yards and a first down, that's pretty impressive.
And he catches it. He is hit hard on the play. They had a tough time tracking him down.
Really, what do you do when a guy has that kind of speed and that kind of ability in the open field? That's just a little short pass that he turned into an electric play.
He's dropped for a loss. The offense had a tough time picking up all their blocks on that play.
Yeah, you can draw up any sort of protection scheme and blocking scheme that you want, but ultimately this game comes down to one big man against another big man, and that time the defensive big men, they won the battle. It's so important to pound the defense with the run because it just wears defenses out.
Third down play, they have to get it to at least the 35-yard line for a fresh set of downs. They'll go from the shotgun. Pass is complete. What a shot! Coles might have been shaken up a bit on the play.
Spread the ball around and make sure the defense knows that they have to cover every receiver.
Henry takes over at receiver following the injury. Gets it off. Defense closing in. And he catches it. The 10. And that pass was moving.
Yeah, and it's not that quarterbacks without strong arms can't make it in this league. But boy, it sure is an asset to have a guy like Cannon like that.
Here's the give. Touchdown, Bengals. Perfect time to go with the run. What a touchdown.
They just ran it right at him, didn't they? And they were not going to be stopped on that one. Nice job up front by the offensive line to control the point of attack. They got an excellent push right from the snap, and the running back did the rest.
Graham makes it a 7-point game. That'll give them a 1-possession lead. Number 10 has his team lined up for the kickoff. And here's the kick. Takes it from the 10.
Now it's their turn to do something on offense. Down by a touchdown early, but these guys have the kind of offense, as we well know, that they can score at any time.
The Bengals go with a 4-man front. On the ground with a tailback.
You have to keep the defense honest by mixing those runs and passes.
2nd and 7. The Cincinnati Bengals line up in a 4-3. Wade, the man in motion. Here's the halfback. Fakes the run. All kinds of pressure. And he just throws this one out of bounds. Hall has the pick. The 20, the 10. He's in. Touchdown. And that was the worst possible place to throw that ball.
Yeah, especially because that guy was playing defense, and that guy not only will pick you off, but he'll put points on the board. What a play.
Graham lining up for the point after. Graham is good on the point after.
Well, we're going to find out how mentally tough this quarterback is, because when you get off to a shaky start like that, sometimes it's tough to piece everything back together again.
He kicks it off. Takes it at the 8. The defense dealt a crippling blow to this offense the last time they had the ball. They line 37. Peterson lines up as the deep back, high formation. The defense comes up tight on the cover.
The defense held their position and didn't let him get away on that one.
2nd and 9 coming up here. Defense lines up with 8 men in the box. On the ground with a tailback. Can anyone tackle this ball carrier?
Boy, defensively, you can't ask for anything better than that. 2 clean shots. They missed them both and gave up the first down.
The Bengals
Go with a 4-man front.
first down. Looking to throw. The defense just didn't match up well on that play.
Give this defense a shot.
1st and 10. The Cincinnati Bengals line up in a 4-3. A little misdirection.
In the first half, still plenty of time to be patient with the running game, but if you don't start having better success than that, it's really going to start putting pressure on you to throw the football.
Still a lot of time left, but at the end of one, the score is 14-0. Bengals.
This defense looks good.
Just under 3 to go in the half.
The Bengals come out in the 46.
Little handoff.
The defense is trying to shut down the running game early to force them to pass. We'll see if it works, or whether or not they'll stay with it later in the game.
The Cincinnati Bengals line up with a nickelback. Drops back to pass. Going deep with this one. He brings in the deep throw. Touchdown Vikings. Outstanding play to the wide receiver as he took it the distance.
Just a great route that time. No way that he wasn't going to catch that football and score with that one. That was beautiful.
Longwell lining up for the point after. And the point after is good. Minnesota looks ready to kick it away. The kick. Has it at the 5.
Sends the offensive unit out onto the field, looking to build the lead.
Done alone in the backfield. On the ground with a tailback.
They just have to keep pounding it at them. Just keep that defense tired on its heels, and the big gains will come later in the second half.
2nd down and 5. Palmer will line up with the shotgun formation. Back to throw. And he has his back. What a hit. I don't think he even saw that guy. Good pocket presence shown as the quarterback was able to get rid of it just before the pressure got to him.
And that's an area where he excels. He works his way through his progressions quickly and doesn't hesitate when he sees the receiver break free in coverage.
And he catches it. He didn't get back to the line. And that one will end up just a bit short of the front.
Boy, you could see him out there fighting for every inch. He knew where that first down marker was. He just couldn't get there, and it brings up 4th down.
Kind of surprising here that they didn't elect to punt. I don't agree with this call. And the snap goes right to the back. At the 50, the 40, the 30. Steps out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Pretty impressive stuff. As a back, you have to just keep slamming it in there, believing that hole's going to be there eventually. That time it was, and he took advantage.
The offense got 6 the last time they were inside the 20. Let's see what they do here.
One thing these guys cannot do is give up on this running game. If they do and become one-dimensional, it makes it awfully easy on the defense.
The Vikings go with a 4-man front. They get it to the tailback.
So important as a coach to establish that running game and use it as a weapon that keeps that defense off guard.
Offensive line this one up at the 12. The Minnesota Vikings line up in a 4-3. Infield drops him for a loss.
Watson winds up well short of the first.
Yeah, not a lot of good blocking on that one, but not a total loss because they can still go for the field goal here.
It's a direct snap.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Oh, I just love that call. On 4th down, so much riding on that play, and the defense simply had no answer. I think they got surprised with the call.
Graham lining up for the point after. Point after is good. They're starting to build a big lead early in this ballgame.
Yeah, and this defense better figure out something to do pretty quickly or this one's going to get away.
Not a bad kick. Takes it at the 12.
The defense gave up a touchdown on the last series.
Call this defense here.
Ball on their own 27.
The Bengals go with a 4-man front.
He looks to throw on first down under heavy pressure. Moves forward. Berrien was unable to make the catch on that pass attempt.
This is a good defense to call.
Cincinnati using 3 linebackers.
Drops back to pass. Pass completed. Ball drags him to the ground. Rosenfels might have been shaken up a bit on the play.
Now, smart coach would call this defense.
Ball on their own 33. Defense lines up with 8 men in the box. It's complete. That ball is thrown into tight coverage, and they'll crank up the no-huddle. They'll throw on first down. Incomplete pass.
And I know this is a game of emotion, and if you're not emotional on the football field, you're going to get beat anyway, but you can't let your emotions get away from you.
The Cincinnati Bengals line up with a nickelback. First down, looking to throw. And the pass falls incomplete. Gianco wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play.
Call this defense here.
Rosenfels back in the shotgun for this one. Drops back. Pass completed. He gets knocked out of bounds at the 39. Nice job getting that pass out of there, and he picks up the first down.
The Bengals go with a 4-man front.
They go with the run. Play action. Berrien was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete.
Try this play.
One-man backfield. Rosenfels sends one of his guys in motion. He drops back to pass. They have to find a way to provide better protection for him.
Pretty hard to execute an offense when they get in the backfield that quickly. You know, we talked about going to a 5-step drop or a 3-step drop. They might have to go to a 1-step drop to get that thing out.
The quarterback is hurrying them to the line.
This defense looks good.
Louis to set back, ready to punt. He'll probably try to pooch this one into the corner. And he goes out of the end zone for the touchback.
Make sure you stay inbounds on this play. You don't want to stop the clock for them.
Ball on their own 20. The Vikings come out in a 4-3. The halfback with the carry.
Running the ball consistently, obviously, is the first step in creating a truly balanced attack.
It's second down, 6 to go. The Minnesota Vikings
Go with a four-man front.
They hand it off. The 40. And we come to halftime here. Score is 21-7. Bengals. And we'll see how this one turns out as we're set to get the second half underway. Decent kick. Takes it at the 8.
No time to fool around now. You have to get the ball in your star players' hands, and they have to create some big plays because time is really becoming a factor.
The Bengals line up in a 4-3. Gets it on.
You could see he saw where the hole was or where it was supposed to be, but it just closed up so quickly.
Rosenfels lines up in the shotgun formation. Wade is the man in motion. Little handoff. Peterson looks to have been shaken up a bit on that play.
Give this one a shot.
The Cincinnati Bengals bring in the nickel package. Passes on the move. And he catches it. And they do complete the pass, but he'll end up just a bit short of the first.
And that's tough. It looked like he was going to make the first down all the way there, but a good open field tackle. Now it's decision time. Do you go for it here on fourth down?
Drops back to pass. Pass is complete. They got lucky on that one.
I used to have a coach that would say on fourth down, you're either pregnant or you're not. There's no in between here. You either pick it up or you go sit on the bench.
Out of the I formation. Drops back on first down. Probably a good decision to throw it away. Second down coming up after the incomplete pass.
Call this defense here.
Second down now with 10 to go. The Bengals
Go with a four-man front.
He drops back. He's under pressure. Gathers, records the sack on the play.
You gotta be kidding me. You can't keep letting your big money quarterback get hit like that. He's going to be out of the game. That's one of those situations the quarterback gets back in the huddle and he starts looking around at the guys like, you want to earn your paycheck today?
Back to back. Defense closing in. They need to find a better way to protect him out there.
I really don't know what you do as an offense at this point, because if it's one guy struggling or one guy winning the battle, you can help one side or another. But when your entire offensive line is getting beat on a consistent basis, what do you do?
And it will go out of bounds.
Scan the defense quickly here. If nothing's open downfield, get rid of it by passing to one of your backs.
The Minnesota Vikings
Come out in a 4-3.
first down, looking to throw. All kinds of pressure. Throws the deep pass. Drops the easy pick.
And the quarterback's happy that all he did was break up that play. I thought that was going to get picked. That was close for sure, but we have to use the same rule on defensive backs that we use for receivers. If it hits you in the hands, that's a play you have to make.
Done with great speed, showing what he can do when he gets into the open field.
And that's what scares you about this receiver is, yes, he's so good at running by you, but he is also intimidating, catching the ball underneath, and then making something happen. and you try to keep your offense on schedule. Anytime you take a penalty, it's just so much harder to pick up a first down.
The defense comes out in the dime package. He looks to throw on first down. Has a man deep. Here's the throw. And it's tipped away. Almost a catch, but he had it pop right out of there.
And that's so frustrating as a wide receiver. You know you're going to get hit on the play. Just wrap it up, make the catch, and go to the ground.
Drops back. And he caught it. Good yardage that time on the pass.
And that was a little hum baby coming out of there from the quarterback. We've all heard about how strong his arm is, and we saw it there.
The Vikings go with a four-man front. Gives it off. Setting up play action. It's completed. The 30, open field ahead. The 20, the 10, touchdown Bengals.
Boy, there aren't many quarterbacks in the NFL that I'd take ahead of Carson Palmer. When this guy sees an open receiver and he decides to cut it loose, it gets in there so fast. I think he is an incredible talent.
Up and good. Cincinnati looks ready to kick it away. Kicks it off. From the 10. He's still going. The defense can't keep giving up yards on penalties like this.
Yeah, it's hard enough in the game today with the rule changes to help the offense to stop an offense anyway, but you can't give away yards.
Just under 3 to go in regulation. Rosenfels will line up with the shotgun formation. Here's the give. Play action. Berrien was unable to make the catch on that pass attempt.
Well, you could see the receiver doing all he could to keep his feet in bounds, but that pass just let him out of bounds.
They line up with split backs. Hands it up. Nice play fake. And this one could be a big hit. Peterson gains 7 yards with the catch. They line up at the 44. The Bengals bring in the nickel back. He drops back to pass. Pass completed. The 30. He's pushed out at the 26-yard line.
Speed is what this game's all about. Do you have somebody who can create this kind of offense with his speed, and maybe defensively, do you have anybody out there that has a chance against him?
Yanko in motion. First down, looking to throw. Under heavy pressure. Passes. End zone. Touchdown Vikings. It looked like everything worked to perfection on that trip.
Well, this receiver may not be the fastest guy in the world, but he certainly knows how to work a defense. And you can tell this quarterback believes in him. He stayed with him, and they hit it beautifully for a touchdown.
And the point after is good. Longwell wants to get a good bounce here, give his team a chance to recover. Here's the onside kick. Fields it at the 38. They'll start this drive at the 38-yard line.
Looks like there's room to the outside. Just make sure you keep it in bounds so the clock keeps on ticking.
The Vikings go with a four-man front.
They'll give it off here. Johnson brings him down at the 18. Dunn might have been shaken up a bit on the play.
You need to play it a little safe here. Run the ball and pick up a few. You're almost there.
Watson will line up in the backfield due to the injury sustained by his teammate. With the ball in the red zone, they have a very good chance of extending their lead. Here's the game.
So, a pickup of maybe 3.
Critical situation here. You guys can't make mistakes here in the red zone. Run this play and pick up some solid yardage.
Pro formation here. Picks up a yard.
Looks like there's room to the outside. Just make sure you keep it inbound so the clock keeps on ticking.
One-man backfield. A little misdirection. What about that play?
Well, I always like to see an offense stay aggressive, I guess. But at least in this situation, it's a fourth quarter, you have the lead, I can understand the call.
It's a direct snap. Move forward. Touchdown, Bengals. That guy picked up a lot of yardage on that run.
Yeah, give the offensive line a little credit. They created the initial hole, but after that, it was all the running back. That's the reason this guy is so popular in this league.
Graham lining up for the point after. Up and good. Number 10 lines up to kick this one away. He kicks it off. Takes it from the 10. He found some running room and was able to get an excellent return.
Try this play.
They line up with split backs. He looks to throw on first down, and he just throws this one out of bounds. They can't complete the pass, and now the offense will be looking at second down. So they'll face a 2nd and 10. The Bengals line up with a nickelback. Hands it off. Setting up play action. Defender tips it away. Rice wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play. The Cincinnati Bengals bring in their quarter defensive package. He throws it. Pass incomplete. First down. Looking to throw. Second down for the offense after that incomplete pass. He drops back. Can't stay in bounds. Incomplete pass.
Well, that's something receivers work on all the time, dragging that back toe, just unable to do it that time.
Third down once again. Let's see if they can convert this one. Drop back. Pass completed. That's set up really nicely for the offense.
Quarterback blitzes are dangerous for both the offense and the defense. Obviously, when you're sending one of the defenders out of your secondary, you could give up a big play. But offensively, sometimes those quarterbacks don't see it coming, and they get hit hard.
They'll throw on first down. Takes a shot deep to the right. Tips it away.
You could see the receiver making a late adjustment on the ball. He was in perfect position and just dropped it.
Rosenfels is back in the gun. Little handoff. On play action. It's completed. And that one will go for a first.
Very nice start to the drive. 3 first downs and a pretty ball thrown that time by the quarterback.
They hurry back to the line. Rice, the man in motion. Drops back on first down. Steps up in the pocket. Pass is complete. This guy's putting on a show out there.
And it really helps when the quarterback gets the kind of protection he's getting so far in this one. This offensive line's doing a nice job building a pocket for this quarterback, and that's creating some nice passing lanes.
Try this play.
4 more yards for the score.
Cincinnati might have some difficulty covering all 5 receivers with a base 4-3 defense.
The defense comes up tight on the cover. Back to pass. Passes. End zone. Pass completed. Rosenfels tosses his 10th touchdown of the year. And here's the extra point. Up and good. Longwell will try to hit this ball just right to get a good bounce for the onside kick. The onside attempt. Fields it at the 38. Big recovery there. They'll get the ball right back. They'll work from the shotgun. First down, looking to throw. It's complete. The 50. There's no one around. The 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown Vikings.
Harvin now has 2 touchdown catches.
Longwell lining up for the point after. Extra point is good. Onside kick. Fields it at the 42.
You don't want to take any chances in this situation. Just take a knee and let the clock run out.
Number 96 drops him for a loss. He hasn't been able to capitalize on any rushing attempts so far and continues his weak performance. It's a direct snap. At the 30, the 20. So this one is all wrapped up. Our final score, the Cincinnati Bengals 35, the Minnesota Vikings 28.